Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here. I'm going to be showing you what surgery is like and what procedures you go through when you're doing it and all that good stuff. So, I had surgery on my tibia. I broke my fibula and tibia. I On my tibia, I had a rod, titanium rod, and 4 screws put in the upper part and bottom part of my tibia. So, what had happened was I was on a trampoline, did a backflip, and then when I landed on my foot, and my body kind of turned, and I spiral fractured both those bones. They're the second biggest bones in your body, so that was a fun experience. But surprisingly, I was probably the calmest one out of everyone, because I was just so hyped up on adrenaline that it actually happened when it happened. Thank God for my friend's mom, because I was at a friend's house, and she called the ambulance, and we got that all squared away. So, I have a couple pictures here. This is my bone, or was my bone. If you can see there, this is where it broke right there. And you can see it's completely broken. It's a clean break. And then, so, what they did was put a rod and 4 screws in my tibia. And so now it's fixed, but I still can't put any weight on it. It still needs time to heal, and then I can start slowly getting into putting weight on it and everything. So yeah, I'm going to tell you what surgery's like and what you do going through it and everything. So here we go. Alright, so when this first happened, I went to the hospital. Worst experience at the hospital. I ended up not staying overnight. They let me go home at 12 o'clock. Wrapped me in a soft cast, I don't know. And then I went to another hospital because that one was really terrible and I had a really bad experience there. So I went to another hospital early in the morning the next morning. They rewrapped me and everything, got me situated in bed and everything. And it was a really nice room. I went to Princeton Bone and Joint, and they did an extremely good job. So I was in this room for, I think I stayed there that day. And then the next day at 1 o'clock, I think it was, that's what time my surgery was. So what happened was when I went to surgery, they took all my they left my IV in, but they unhooked me from everything. And so when I went to this room, it was like a pre-op room, and they had a TV in there, and I remember watching TV. I was watching horse racing because there was nothing else on, and so I remember being in that room for like 5 or 10 minutes, and this guy comes in. A couple of people came in. This guy came in eventually, and he's talking, and he takes me down to the surgery room where they perform the surgery, and so what happens is he goes, okay, well, he gives me something in my arm, and it makes me, like, really tired. But it didn't knock me out completely yet. I was still kind of fully awake. And then the guy, he takes me out of the room. Of course, leaving. He hits the door on the way out. I mean, he wasn't that good at wheeling people around in a bed, but, I mean, whatever. So, he hit the door on the way out. Then he went out. We went into this elevator. And that's all I remember from that. And then I remember waking up in the surgery room, and I remember looking around and seeing like these people, like a lot of people, and then a lot of like machinery type stuff. So, I remember the doctor asking me, like the surgeon who was performing the surgery, the doctor, he asked me a couple questions. Like, what's your name? I couldn't tell you what the questions were, but they're, like, simple, like, what's your name, how old you are, what's your date of birth. I remember answering them, and then he gave me something else in my IV, and then I was just out. And I was out until 6 o'clock when I woke up in the after-operation room. I don't know, but... So, in the surgery, what they ended up doing... So, in this picture, what they did was they took a drill bit, or I don't know what they did, but they drilled out my whole bone all the way down to, this is my ankle joint right here, and this is my knee joint up here, so my whole leg, they drilled out the whole thing, and then they put a titanium rod in it, and then screwed these screws in here. You can see one. You see the screws there, and then up there. So they ended up doing that. Then they cut open my knee from about here to about there, and then they put this. That's where they put the titanium rod, and they put screws in, and I have a couple little incisions down here where they put the other 2 screws in. So that's what they did. And then apparently I was on anesthesia, and apparently I wasn't that bad. Like, I didn't do anything stupid, because I remember waking up in the after operation room. I'm just like kind of like, whoa, what just happened? And I'm looking around, and there's like 9 other beds in there, and there are people, but I don't remember anything really from it. I remember waking up and being in there, and I was kind of just like still like, what is happening? I was looking around for like 10 minutes, and finally the girl in there realized I was like awake and moving. So then she just wheeled me out to the front, and then after that she had got someone. Apparently they need like special transport people to transport you, so they transported me back to my room, and then that was it. So if you're going under surgery, there's nothing to worry about. It's just there's not like you're not awake for any of it. You don't feel anything, but you do feel like after surgery. I mean, if you just had surgery, so you're gonna feel a little pain, and I mean that was about it. But it's opposed to letting this bone heal. I would have been out for like 3 months. Had like a long leg cast all the way up to my hip. But I had surgery on it, so I'll be back in like 6 weeks, and it's a lot faster recovery for surgery. And if you have surgery, it's just, you don't know what's happening, you don't feel a thing, you basically don't even know you're having the surgery, because you're in a room, you get knocked out, and then you wake up in another room. So if you're having surgery, there's nothing to worry about, it is what it is. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching.